I, 22F, just found out my boyfriend, 22 meters, of 3 years has been addicted to opiates for several years and he cheated on me 4 months ago. His best friend was mad at him and told me. First he told me he cheated on me with his friend about 4 months ago. Next he told me he's addicted to pills. Further conversation with my boyfriend led to him admitting that last year he was addicted to cocaine and the past year it's excelled to opioids. He claims the cheating happened because his friend was very understanding of his issues, that he didn't tell me about for years, and that led to sex one time. I'm very upset because they obviously had an emotional relationship. He told her things that he hid from me for years. He was hiding hanging out with her for weeks. He said the sex was only once but obviously something happened that he wanted to hide from me those other times, otherwise why would he hide it? I've already informed his family of the drug issue. I'm very conflicted because I want to be there for my best friend who is going through a bad time, but he also just cheated on me, so I told him I won't even think about us being together until he goes to rehab or at least an outpatient situation. Keep going back and forth with him. 1 second I'm wanting to help him with his problems and be there for him like she was. On the other I want to keep going off on him for cheating and lying. I know this situation is strange and weird, but anyone else who's been in similar or found out their significant other is addicted to drugs, please leave helpful info. TDLR, boyfriend of 3 years hides pill problem for 2 years then cheats on me with his friend who he trusted more than me to tell about his issues. This is run the fuck away territory. There's a possibility that he'll get clean and stay clean, but he is the one who needs to make that decision and stick with it. And honestly, it's gonna take years to see how this plays out. This is pretty much your first adult serious relationship, since you got together at 19, but that doesn't mean it has to be your only adult relationship. If you'd gone on a single date with this guy and he dropped the "I'm addicted to opioids" factoid, you'd never have gone on a second date, because substance abuse problems are huge life-wrecking problems. So, move on and find someone else to date. There's no good reason to potentially throw away years of your life on a person who will most likely continue using and fucking up their life for years to come. Listen, I want you to wipe every thought from your mind except "I need to leave now." Yes, this is not your family, you are not married and have no ties such as children. Please leave and know that he has demons that you will never be able to understand or fix. My sister is an addict and I spent years worrying myself sick and trying to fix the situation. I have been no contact for 4 years now and honestly it is better for my mental health. Please do not sacrifice your mental health and future over someone who doesn't and can't care about you. Not trying to sound harsh, but please, just leave now. As somebody who has been dealing with a loved one's opiate addiction for 20 years, I can tell you that leaving now will save you so much worry, guilt, money, aggravation and just about every other negative adjective you can think of. This will not get better. He has already engaged in the lying aspect of his addiction, and even if he chooses to get clean, you will always question whether he's telling the truth. My addict is my child, so I can't give up, but I find myself enabling quite often by making excuses for the behavior that comes along with addiction. As a young person with a bright future, please walk away now before you become even more enmeshed. Hugs and positive vibes sent your way. He claims the cheating happened because his friend was very understanding of his issues. They both chose to cheat, and this bullshit is not an excuse in any way. It was their choice, both of them. This guy is not good for you. Break up with him. And your friend is not a friend either. She had sex with him knowing he was in a relationship with you. So you were trying to help them with their issues. And this is how they repaid you for that. Realize that you're not the only one who can help them with their shit, and probably not the best person to help them either. There are trained experts that they can go to get actual help. So given what they've done, time to focus on yourself, dump both of them, block them, and improve your own life. You don't need cheating, lying from both of them, and their issues on top of it, in your life. Friendship with both of them has just become an unpaid job. All you'll get is stress and work and trouble, and not even fucking gratitude. No pout and run the fuck away. So I'm a recovered addict and I can offer some insight from that perspective. Too long didn't read, get out of the relationship regardless of if he goes to rehab or not. Assuming he actually does go through a rehab and gets clean, it's not a cool now I'm clean, life is immediately normal situation. It takes years for things related to the drug use to be resolved, the core issues that caused him to turn to drugs to begin with, the changes in his brain chemistry, post-acute withdrawal syndrome. He has a lot of shit to work out within himself, he's going to have to rebuild his identity from the ground up. He genuinely needs to focus on himself for the foreseeable future if he's going to stay clean. Having and so to worry about is overloading the plate. Long-term opiate use absolutely will lower your inhibitions and lead you to do sketchy shit, but it's still a personal choice and you still have all of your faculties. He chose to cheat. If he tries to tell you he was in a drug haze, he's absolutely full of shit. I can almost guarantee you cheating with her isn't the only sketchy thing he's done, it's just the only thing you currently know about. Not necessarily saying he's cheated with others, but that he's done other morally bankrupt things related to his fix. The best thing you can do for yourself is break it off and focus on you for the next few years. He needs to be alone with his thoughts during this time, and if, say, 5 years into the future he is truly clean and in a better place, y'all can touch base and see if anything is still there, if that's what you want to do. But right now you guys both need very different things. My 28F ex-fiancé, 28M, treated me badly until I had a miscarriage. Should I give him a second chance? When I was 22, I had an unexpected pregnancy and a rushed engagement. We had only been dating for just over a year and I really didn't want to get married yet, but everyone shamed me into believing it was the right thing to do for the baby, so I agreed to go through with it. My ex-fiancé was incredibly cruel and just plain awful to me during our short engagement. He did a complete 180 after we got engaged and was constantly making snide comments about how I had planned the whole thing to trap him. I hadn't. I asked him multiple times if he wanted to break up, but he would always say something along the lines of he didn't trust me/my family to raise his baby right and he would rather be tied to me forever than let me use his baby as a pawn. Things didn't end well between us. I had a miscarriage in the middle of a terrible argument. When I came home from the hospital, my ex-fiancé was suddenly the most attentive and caring person you could wish for. For me, it was too little too late, and I broke up with him and moved out a month later despite him insisting he still wanted to be together. Our mutual friends all, except one, turned against me after this. They thought I was heartless because he had lost his baby too and I was just abandoning him. I hadn't spoken to or seen him until 5 months ago. I knew he kept in touch with my family though, and that, according to the one remaining mutual friend we have, he chewed everyone out for saying horrible things about me. So, 5 months ago I needed a place to stay as an emergency. My landlord started renting rooms to some sleazy men. One of them was harassing me almost daily and my landlord wouldn't do anything about it. I confided in my family, who told my ex. He reached out to suggest I move in with him. I was hesitant but the man wouldn't stop, and I was worried he would escalate things eventually, so I took him up on his offer. Things were incredibly awkward between us in the beginning, but he seems to have grown up a lot since we were engaged. I would say we're almost friends now. The problem is that he keeps implying he doesn't want to be just friends. He also keeps referencing our past and speculating about what could have been. Yesterday, he outright asked me if I would ever date him again and I couldn't really give him an answer. Part of me wants to give him a chance. I didn't realize how much I missed him until we were living together again. I can't talk to anyone who knows about this situation because they're all biased and will tell me to give him a chance. I need some outside perspective here. What would you guys do if you were in my shoes? Too long didn't read. Ex-fiancé treated me horribly until I miscarried. He wanted to fix things between us, but it was too little too late for me. Due to an unsafe living situation, I'm now living with him again and he keeps dropping hints he wants a second chance. I read your title and my immediate answer was no. After reading everything that happened, I'm still saying no, but with an asterisk. You need to be in a better situation. The fact that you left a bad living environment and that's how you reconnected, is no reason to start dating again. Instead, you should be looking for a different place to live so that with distance, comes perspective. You also need to get people out of your decision making. Neither your friends nor your family are giving you good advice. If you were living on your own, you can do so again, without threat of abuse. That's your best move here. Staying in your ex's home makes you vulnerable and pliable. I wouldn't. There was a time when he decided to blame and shame you for trapping him. Right now, he doesn't feel trapped, but someday he might again. Can you trust he won't decide to bully and blame you then? Can you imagine having a child with this man, and trusting him as a co-parent, after what he had said about you as a mother and co-parent? I couldn't. Never date him again. Why would I ever want to be with someone who could turn that easily and show his true colors? Someone who cares for me would never do that to me in any circumstance. It's completely unacceptable. Not even sure if I could be friends with someone who is cruel to me in the past. I don't like that a man who is well aware of how cruel and unfair he was to you has completely refused to stay out of your life and leave you alone. I don't like that he has refused to learn any humility and still seems to expect your attention and affection. I don't like that he has maneuvered you into being dependent on him for housing and then turned on the pressure to restart a romantic relationship. I don't like that he's wheedled his way into your family's sympathies in order to reduce the number of people who are only looking out for you and your feelings and wishes. This whole situation smells. This guy has all the hallmarks of a controlling partner. Do not trust him. He's shown you who he is, who he becomes when he doesn't get his way. Start looking for another living arrangement ASAP. Thank him politely for his help. This is a see a move, nothing more, and then move the fuck on. Anyone who tells you that you owe him anything more than that is not your friend, they're his. You're 28. This happened at 22. He's kept in touch with your family since then. It's up to you if you want to date your other stalker. My 25 meters. Parents feel that me going back to work is the easy way out. My 25 meters. Parents think me going back to work is taking the easy way out. I all hope you're doing well in these times. Basically, I live with my parents, and it'll be almost a year since I had left my job because of COVID and all that. It wasn't a great job, but it paid good for what it was. Early on, COVID terrified me, as I'm sure it terrified everyone else. So my boss was very understanding when I had left, and said there was always a job for me if I wanted to come back. Ever since March of 2020, I have been trying to make it as a freelance artist and work from home, while collecting unemployment. Back to present day, my unemployment has run dry and I'm currently going through a mid-quarter life crisis lol and realizing that life isn't as easy as I thought. I make comics and I'm able to get a couple hundred off of that, but it's not sustainable to live off of, obviously. I figured I can go back to work, save a bit more, enroll in an online art school, if that exists. Something along those lines, as my brother and I also have plans to move out. Here's where the problem lies. My parents are very against me going back to work, as they see it as the easy way out. Not to mention COVID lol. They don't feel like it doesn't make sense to work for the man when you can work for yourself. Lol, they make it sound so easy, right? I can understand their fear. Before COVID all I did was work/come home. I guess they're scared of me falling back into that same rut. My parents have been working on starting their own business for about 5 years now, and I'm happy for them and proud of what they've accomplished. But, after 5 years, they haven't met any of their goals, and they have to work jobs to support the business. I can understand they don't want me to go down the same road, but I feel like it's my choice. It's not like I'm going to stop drawing or stop the small side hustles I do have. I just want to have a steady stream of income coming in. Am I being unreasonable here? I think I just need some advice on how to explain this to them, because it seems like no matter I say, I'm still in the wrong. I know this problem might seem kinda trivial, but I'd appreciate any advice you guys can give. Thank you. Too long didn't read. Want to go back to work, but parents are super against it, claiming it's the easy way out. Just need advice on how to proceed.